Hey guys, I'm Jay, and today we're going to be talking about a very sensitive subject. Is Zelda sexist? What? Yes, the main question that everybody has since a certain person named Nia Sarkeesian, I believe, tweeted out an idea that she was tired of Zelda and all of its sexist tropes. Now, she specifically referenced Breath of the Wild continuing this trend, but I dare to go further back. How far back is the idea of Zelda being sexist true? Now, I would dare to say that that is not true at all, that there is no level that Zelda is sexist. But in order to make an argument, you have to understand the thing that you are arguing. So, the thing that is being stated is that Zelda, certain tropes within it, are sexist. So what are these tropes? Well, probably the whole idea of the princess being kidnapped in the castle. So, I'm going to start with this idea. What makes Zelda badass? Well, let's look into this concept. Zelda herself has been a very proactive character for years within the Zelda franchise. How so? From the beginning, yes, she has been the princess kidnapped and taken to the castle, but she has also been the princess who has helped Link defeat Ganon every single time. Going back to Link to the Past, she's the one who helps Link in several aspects, opening up passageways to get out of the castle away from Ganon and helping Link get back in by coercing with several people to work against Ganon. Now, let's jump forward a little bit to the single greatest moment of my childhood, Zelda Ocarina of Time. This was a discovery for me, so I hold it and I treasure it very well. But why is Zelda so awesome? Well, Ocarina of Time is the first time where she really stands out as a badass. How so? Zelda, yes, sets Link up to go and save the day, but she don't really need no man to save her. I mean, she kind of does, and that could be the sexist concept, but let's focus on what makes her awesome right now. The simple fact that after she has passed the Ocarina of Time on to Link, after guarding it for several years as a child, she is set to just sit there for 7 years while Link sleeps 7 years into the future. So what does she do? She trains to be a badass warrior Sheik. She trains under Impa, another strong female badass character. So she shows up 7 years later and helps guide Link through everything. Now, there can be an argument made that Link himself has to do 10 times the work that Zelda has to do to be able to help fight the battle, whereas Zelda is just already badass, but she does train to become Sheik, which is a badass decision on its own. Jump forward a little bit to Wind Waker. She is a pirate queen, or captain at least. Yes, spoilers, sorry. But you have to understand, in the future, for Wind Waker, you find out that this pirate captain, badass girl the whole time, is Princess Zelda! And what does she do? She becomes a badass pirate. Rather than doing anything else remotely stupid, she becomes a badass pirate. That's awesome. Twilight Princess, one of the arguments to be made is the fact that she is a final boss in the end that Link has to beat to overcome to finally beat Ganon, which is another badass thing because she can fight. She can fight. And then finally, Skyward Sword, it is revealed that she is part goddess, which is awesome and badass at the same time. But all those arguments aside, let's open up the biggest thing. All those things can still be true and this game could still be sexist, but I dare to make the argument that it is not sexist at all. And here's why. It is based in the fact of the Triforce. The Triforce is made of 3 characters that continuously come back and have to battle: Link, Ganondorf, and Zelda. These 3 continuously are reincarnated and brought back. Now, the whole idea of sexism is the concept that one sex would be inferior to the other. Now, if Zelda was far more badass and could beat either of those 2, it would be sexist on the male part. Or if it would take one of them to beat Zelda, she would be inferior, which would then support the sexist argument. But the Triforce and what makes it work comes down to the idea that all 3 are equals, which is anti-sexism. The argument that sexism strives for everyone to be equal, and these characters are. They are equal. Zelda is the Triforce of wisdom, Link is the Triforce of courage, and Ganon is the Triforce of power. The cool thing about this is the simple fact that Zelda herself is equal to both of the other characters, and that's why it has to be Zelda and Link to beat Ganon, because Zelda is match for match equal to Ganon and match for match equal to Link. It takes both or 2 of them to beat one of the others. A third. They are all a third power to each other, which makes them all equal. Thus, they are not sexist. But then begs the question, if she is so badass, and if she is so equal, then why does she keep getting kidnapped and brought to a castle? Well, let's break down this argument. Zelda represents the Triforce of wisdom, which means she is smart. She is powerful and badass at the same time, but mostly she is smart and wise. So whereas Princess Peach keeps getting kidnapped herself, and Mario keeps having to do all the work to get her out of the castle to face off with Bowser, Zelda typically purposely places herself there. Because in the end equation, it's going to take her and Link to beat Ganon. It doesn't take just one of them. It takes all three of them to fight. So you have to have two of them to beat Ganon, which means Zelda has to be present for the fight. The easiest thing for her to do is to get kidnapped on purpose, which is actually kind of a badass decision on its own. So yes, you might be able to make the argument that yes, she continuously gets kidnapped and brought to a castle, but in the long run, the awesome thing about Zelda is the fact that she is so badass and she is equal to all the other people. So, can you make the argument that Zelda is sexist? In my opinion, hell no. Zelda is a badass and awesome. But hey guys, I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the video, hit like, hit subscribe, share with your friends. Let me ask you guys, do you agree with this? Do you have arguments to say contrary? Please drop it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.